Hello and welcome to the second Imjin War special. In this episode, we're going to explore some of the missed opportunities that Japan had during the first invasion. Now, before we begin, I want to make it clear, these are mostly based on opinions that I've made while doing research for this series. And while I do believe I'm correct, they're opinions. Oh, and I also don't want to see any type of hate or nationalism in the comments from anybody about anything. At the least, I'll just delete your comments. And at the most, I might take a screenshot of your comments to post later and make fun of your stupidity. So just don't make an ass out of yourself. And let's begin. The first missed opportunity that Japan made was its navy. And I'm more specifically talking about ship design. Ships hadn't been that crucial in its civil war. Now that being said, if Japan was truly planning on invading Korea, much less China, they would have known that there would be naval transportation and then naval attacks. So what could Japan have done to rectify this? Well, I actually believe that there are several things it could have done. One of them is they could have hired European shipbuilders to help improve their ship designs. Or even just purchase blueprints. Remember, there was actually a good bit of trade between the Spaniards, Portuguese, and others, mostly the Portuguese, during this time. So this was actually very possible. The second thing they could have done to fix this issue was to try the same tactic, but with Korea. See, their Pinoxen was superior to what the Japanese had, and it would have been a big improvement to add in these designs or just flat out copy them. Of course, I also mean this with the cannons as well. Having cannons aboard their ships would have gone a long way to protecting their fleet. And, even if it was just the native Japanese ships too. Now, why would this make such a huge difference? Well, obviously, this would have made it much harder for the Korean naval commander Yi Sun-sin to engage the Japanese fleet. And might have even stopped the engagements altogether. But also, one of Hideyoshi's plans was to supply his armies using the several rivers throughout Korea. And it was honestly a pretty intelligent plan. If you have any doubts about this, just check out my video on the Battle of Hangzhou, where the Koreans did just that with massive success. So the next thing that I would say was a massive mistake was sending Konishi Yukinaga. Sure, he was a competent commander, but he wasn't someone who had followed the plans Hideyoshi laid down, such as he hadn't waited for Kato Kiyomasa to land. Instead, he left early to rush ahead. Now this single action had put the entire first invasion in danger. Had he become overwhelmed, then he wouldn't have had the support needed. He would have been on his own, and then about 1/3 of Hideyoshi's forces would have been gone. And I think that would have put an end to the invasion right there. There was also numerous times that he tried to negotiate with the Ming and Koreans behind the other Japanese generals, and of course, Hideyoshi's back. So clearly, Konishi Yukinaga was an issue. But how would they have known any of this? And well, the honest answer is that they couldn't have. So why do I list this as a major mistake? Well, because Hideyoshi had him lead the invasion, a task that should have been given to Kato Kiyomasa. See, Kiyomasa was very dedicated to Hideyoshi, and was also distantly related to Hideyoshi, so they were kind of family. He served him incredibly well at the battles of Yamazaki and Shizugatake. He also fought in the Kyushu campaigns against the Shimazu. Now this is the man that I believe should have been trusted to lead the first campaign. Had he been the one to lead, he would have followed Hideyoshi's plans a lot more closely. Plus, he was definitely a very competent commander. Oh, and if he was given the authority, would have kept Konishi in line. So yeah. Okay, so this one might and probably is going to be a very new take for all of you out there. The Battle of Vichy, or more the failure of this battle, and them giving up after said failure. By the way, I also put out a video for this battle, so if you're unaware of the details, go check it out and then come back to this. Okay, so this one might and probably is going to be a very new take for all of you out there. The Battle of Vichy, or more, the failure of this battle and then giving up after said failure. By the way, I also put out a video for this battle, so if you're unaware of the details, go check it out and then come back to this. Anyways, this battle was a result of Hideyoshi giving orders to Commander Kobayakawa Takakage to take the Jeolla Province. The reason is that this area was very rich in rice, and also taking this area would have given the Japanese army a route on land to attack Yi Sun-sen's fleet. Now that last bit is incredibly important. Even had the Japanese not been successful in destroying all of his ships and ending him, heck, even if none of them had been destroyed, this would have forced Yi's fleet even further away from the Japanese position at Busan. This would have allowed the Japanese to supply and reinforce itself from the south. And even if the Korean Navy had tried to stop this, they would have had to travel a much longer distance, which would limit their effective range and how long they could operate given there. But that's not all. If the Japanese had fortified the coast, there's a real chance that the Navy would have started to lose ships and stop them from operating in the area completely. Just think about the siege of Busan. But these are three of the greatest opportunities missed by the Japanese in the first invasion, in my opinion. If you disagree with me, let me know down below. Maybe there was another missed opportunity. I'd love to discuss it with you. Now, if you could please hit that like button. I'm not kidding when I say it actually helps me on the algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.